in the Senate is and he'll have to sit down
You're not hot. Oh my God, that's the host from behind. Put the hat on. I'm like, okay. I haven't met him yet. Okay. That's fantastic.
These girls all with me here.
So the other side
Good morning. It is a pleasure to see you all, and welcome to the 44th Annual Distinguished Hall of Fame ceremony here at Cleveland Heights High School. It is my honor to be here and to welcome you as I serve as the administrative principal here at Cleveland Heights High School. We strive for a diploma in every hand, a plan in every head, and a purpose in every heart. We stand roughly 150 educators united to serve over 1,600 students, scholars, and the next Hall of Fame inductees. At this time, I would like to welcome our distinguished inductees, families, friends, guests, students, staff, and just a couple of our dignitaries this morning. So I would like to recognize City Council Member Gail Larson. City Council President Tony Kuda. And Senator Kent Smith. And before I step away, I would just like to leave with everyone that is here, especially our students, something that I say often at graduation, is that we are standing on the shoulders of giants. And that is what allows us to be successful. That is what allows us to be well. That is what allows us to be whole and happy. But it's also what allows us to serve as the giants for others. So our image makers who are here, our students who are here, soak in as much as you can. Stand as tall as you can on the shoulders of the giants that are in this room. And remember that one day, it will be you.
I thank you all. This is a great honor to be inducted into Cleveland Heights High School Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame.
I'm excited to know that it has continued, that it has persisted. There are many, many Heights alums who have very distinctive lives. And so the fact that this can go on and on is very meaningful to me, looking forward to the future.
And thank you to Heights High. I really do still dream about you.
Well, one thing that I've learned is how rich the history of Tiger Nation is. There's a certain spirit that Heights graduates have, that Tiger Nation has.
The championship finale winner is the team from Cleveland Heights.
I will rep Heights to the day I die.
Graduates, let's turn our tassels.
This very unique, undeniably original place in the world that produces the students that go to Heights High and the parents that guide those students and this whole community that helped me be a Tiger.
We are so lucky to have the Heights Schools Foundation, an entity that is designed to support the schools, to be the keepers of our tradition and of our culture, and who really are always trying to think of ways that they can connect people across the different classes in order to support the current students in our district.
A student group called the Image Makers was created, whose sole job is to evaluate the applications that are received. And so that's the way it works. Students select not knowing who the people are, but they select on the basis of the accomplishments that resonate with them.
Shout out to the Heights, baby.
That's Cleveland Heights, by the way.
It's been a long time coming, baby.
I don't know if a lot of people know this, but in the NFL, when the games are broadcast on big networks, you get the opportunity, if you're a starter, to tell everybody where you're from. And most guys tell everybody their university. I say, my name is Travis Kelsey, and I'm from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. I can't thank everyone in here enough for giving me this opportunity 10 years later to say I'm a Hall of Famer at Cleveland Heights High School. Thank you.
The experience of being a student at Heights High creates something special in you. And students who leave here, the graduates of Heights High, take that with them wherever they go. I think that these roots go very deep. I think that they are highly valued. I think that they are a treasure. And boy, oh boy, the Heights community is just so much better for having something special like the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame.
As you travel across the country and span the globe, there's always that chance that you will meet a Heights Tiger. And when you do, you will share an immediate bond. The message I am conveying is that Heights High students and alumni are actively changing the community, the state, the nation, and even the world. And we all share a common bond. We have all walked the halls of this amazing school with its amazing staff in an amazing community.
Hello, Mr. President. How are you doing
Andy,
today?
how are you?
I'm doing great. You must be doing great because you're down in Columbus today.
You know, it was beautiful, and a whole lot of Buckeyes were out here, and they're feeling pretty good about their record.
Everybody knows who Andy Baskin is. I think he did some Cavs sideline stuff. I know he does Ohio State post-game right now. He does Browns pre-game. He's on 92.3 The Fan. He's everywhere in town. I mean, you can't go anywhere without hearing his voice. I wrote him a poem to let him know that he got in. So I go to his house on a Sunday night. It's like 10:30 at night. All right, here we go. I wrote a letter with you in mind. So many accolades, it was a matter of time. I did my homework, as you will see. A place in the hall is where you should be. Montana to Columbus and then back home. The Olympics, the series, your name is well known. For cystic fibrosis, you have led the campaign with over 3 million raised. That is insane. 25 years in print, radio, and TV. Your voice is a staple, clear as can be. I'm happy to say that I received the call. You've been inducted in the Cleveland Heights High Hall. He lost it. He was bawling, and his wife was bawling. And then he goes, I just can't believe it took a Benedictine guy to get me into the hall.
Hi, I'm Katie Leakoski, a former math teacher in Cleveland Heights. Donita was in my several classes. She was a strong, brave young lady at that time. She had a determination and such a wonderful sense of humor. She was always designing something. I think she probably spent more time doing her artwork than her math work. But that certainly led to the career she has had. She started out by doing the designing of t-shirts, and I'm sure she was designing things for kids at Heights at the time that we were there. And then she was actually what they call styling pro athletes. She was choosing their clothes for them, what would look appropriate for game day. And from there, she went on to develop her own clothing company, which is what is happening now with her EC77 clothing company. I am very proud of all that she has accomplished, both in her personal life and in her professional life, and I wish her all the best.
I'd like to express why my nominee, Neil Smith, why I chose him to be inducted into the Cleveland Heights Hall of Fame. He's played with a great many recording artists such as Anita Baker, Jerry Allen, Isaac Hayes. He's just carrying the torch. We're very, very proud of him.
And the Grammy goes to Passion for Bach and Coltrane, Alex Brown, Harlem Quartet, Imani Wins, Edward Perez, Neil Smith, and A.B. Spellman.
Neil Smith and Edward Perez, the most best people that you could ever collaborate with.
Being inducted into the Hall of Fame, this gives him an opportunity to let young people know that there is a place for them on the big stage.
Morning, everyone. My name is Gavin McIntyre, a senior at this school, and I am very honored to be inducting Mr. Andy Baskin to the Heights Hall of Fame. Mr. Baskin and I have quite a couple of things in common, including our passion for sports and writing. When Andy was a student, he loved sports just like I do. I play baseball as of now. He played hockey and baseball, and being on the almost undefeated hockey team here at Heights. That was one of his favorite memories when he was here. Being a student at Heights High taught Baskin how to, I'm sorry, just nervous. Being a student at Heights High taught Mr. Baskin one of the most important things in journalism. It's to be able to talk to everyone and be able to be in everyone's perspective. He believes he wouldn't have learned that anywhere else if he didn't go to Heights High. After graduating, he was able to pursue his passion of sports and writing at Kent State, earning a Bachelor of Arts in Telecommunications. His career lasted for 25 years, from owning his business in broadcasting to working in ESPN and covering the World Series. Not only has he had a great career, he worked with my dad, another thing we have in common. One thing Andy has told me is not being about a 4.0 student, it is about the contribution you have to society and your community. I was very happy to have chosen Mr. Baskin, knowing we share passions, and I hope I'll be even happier to pursue my passion for sports and writing as he did himself. I welcome our first 24 Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Andy Baskin.
First, I want to thank Gavin. It was a great introduction, and he's going to be standing here in this same spot in a few years. I know he's, knowing your father and working with him at Channel 5, I know he is unbelievably proud of you. Your dad walked into that station every day with a smile on his face, the same smile you have, and I am so proud of you. I know I haven't seen you in a while, and I know we had a long conversation last week, but you are going to be a superstar just like your father, and I can't tell you how proud your father would be of you right now. And I know your mom, Megan, is too. Megan? When we were talking last week, especially when I was thinking about his dad, it was a reminder to me that you don't have to be here in body to know that someone cares about you and loves you. Your dad is in the room. My dad, who was in the class of 54, is in this room, and my brother, who graduated in 1977, is in this room with us right now. And don't forget it. This moment serves as a reminder that being in the Hall of Fame is a family affair, and I have to thank my wife, Cassie, who puts up with me 24/7, 7 days a week, 365, because I'm a little bit crazy. I also I need to thank our kids, too, Bryn and Blake, who are also sitting in the front row here today, and I need to express my gratitude to not only my mom, who went to Shaw, so we'll take it easy on her, my sister Karen, who was in the class of 77, my sister-in-law Beth, who was in the class of 78. Thank you, Beth, for playing a huge role in my journey today. Additionally, I really want to thank all of you, the image makers, who have been around since I went to school here, and you are the makers or breakers of people who are in this Hall of Fame, and I thank all of you that are sitting up here today. Thank you, image makers. I also want to thank the administration and everyone else that took time out to be here this morning. Just last weekend, I was listening to former Browns kicker Phil Dawson be inducted into the Browns Hall of Fame, into the Browns Legends on Saturday night, where I was lucky enough to be the MC of that. And he hit the nail on the head. This is a we thing, not a me thing. And that's just really how I feel, because for me, the we thing started with Cleveland Heights and the understanding that it truly, truly, truly takes a village. The relationships that I formed growing up in America's melting pot, which truly is Cleveland Heights, made me the person that I am today. When people ask me why I love Cleveland Heights High School, it's because when I went here, and to this moment forward, and always will be, that this school represents every color, every religion, every economic background, and it gets you ready for life. So that you not only can look at someone, you can understand where they're coming from, and you can at least think, hey, what's it like to walk in their shoes? This building gave me that opportunity. And the we began with my desire to walk in the same hallways as my dad, my brother, and my sister. It also took my parents to choosing to want to stay in Cleveland Heights because we had great educators here, and we still have great educators inside this building. Teachers like Dr. Alan Wolf, Sylvia Stewart-Lumpkin. I'm so proud, I'm so happy. Hey, Mr. Homer, I'm standing here right now. Kind of crazy. Greatest teacher ever. As well as my coaches, Coach Malloy, Coach Capoletti, Coach Ernst, Coach Seville, and Coach Klobuck. I wasn't the greatest of students, as he said, and don't think about that. But I tried really hard, and you know, the failures in this building became my drive and my passion later in life. I've been blessed to have audiences on the radio and television for the last 38 years. I've covered every major sports team in town. I've traveled with the Cavs and the Indians, and I've delivered the news for over a decade, not only on Channel 5, but on Spectrum News 1 right now, and every day on 92.3 The Fan. I take great pride in raising awareness and funds for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and Life Bank, ensuring that others don't have to suffer the same fate as my brother who passed away from cystic fibrosis. But I also appreciate the fact that his organ donor gave my brother the opportunity to live for a few more months, and I will always be a part of Life Bank thanks to the unbelievable awareness that Congresswoman Stephanie Tubbs Jones gave to this community. You will never understand the impact she had on so many lives and so many lives moving forward. No matter where I go, I proudly wear the black and gold. The teachers, the administrators, the same halls that you do today, they are equipping you with the tools to change the world. Like every member of the Cleveland Heights High School Hall of Fame, I am in awe of my fellow inductees. I have no business being up here compared to you guys. I'm just telling you. And then please take the time to see the other people that are online that were here before us. This school has produced some of the greatest minds in the world, and two brothers that give us goosebumps every time they represent Heights High when they proudly say, Heights High! On national TV in the 80s, thank you to the Kelseys for making our community worldwide. I leave you with this. On my graduation day, I learned the alma mater. In honor of Dear Heights, we gather here to sing, to show our love and loyalty, we let our voices ring. I've never forgot that. I urge you that our voices, and tell you that our voices as Heights High graduates are being heard, and I urge today's students to make sure that your voices are heard in the future. I proudly represent my classmates from the class of 1986 as a member of the Heights Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Araya the Priest, and I am currently in the 11th grade. I am so honored to have had this opportunity to interview and introduce the inspiring Dani Merritt. Dani Merritt started a clothing brand called EC77 with the last $200 she had left to her name. She shared with me that she was indeed afraid, but that taking the risk and starting that brand was her dream. As anyone who's launched a business would expect, she faced a lot of challenges along the way. But what inspired her to keep going was her background. That's because Miss Merritt has experience overcoming obstacles. From growing up with an alcoholic stepfather who was emotionally and physically abusive to having to face society as a Black woman leader, she kept going no matter what because the goal she was focused on was too big to just let go of. Miss Merritt's message to all the students who sometimes feel like giving up is don't stop. Continue, 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 and show the world that succeeding is for everyone. Succeeding is certainly for Miss Dani Merritt, our newest member of the Heights High Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame.
I am not Dani Merritt. I'm Chrissy Dietrich Gallagher, a trustee at the Heights Schools Foundation, and I've been working with these fine students on their speeches. Sadly, Dani was diagnosed with COVID just a few days ago, rendering her unable to fly and be with us today. She did send along her remarks, which I'm going to read in the third person, and her deep gratitude for this recognition of her work. Dani grew up right across the street. Her dad purchased the two-family house on the corner of Cedar and Kildare with his GI Bill in 1980. Dani was born 2 years later. She was raised in Cleveland Heights by a single mother who worked hard to finish college and obtain her degree while raising 2 kids. Dani reports that her childhood was spectacular. She attended Fairfax, Roxborough, and Heights, went to the pavilion in the summers to play basketball, and attended and later on worked for the summer sports camp here at the school. She remembers always having fun in this town, playing football on the baseball field almost every weekend as a kid. There was always so much to do in this city, and she doesn't remember a single day of boredom. Her high school years were equally amazing, but at home, things weren't so great. Her stepfather's alcoholism took over the house, and home became somewhere she didn't want to be. School and after-school activities were her escape. She'd even come to school when she was sick, and she never missed a day. She joined whatever after-school programs she could find, anything to avoid going home. School was her safe haven, and part of that had to do with meeting her math teacher, Katie Liahuski, in her freshman year, who I think is here today. Yes, great. Dani found her intimidating at first, and she always remembers how nervous she felt walking in on that first day. Like a lot of good teachers, Mrs. Liahuski was hard on her. Dani hated letting her down, especially failing her tests. But she always gave her students a chance to retake or do extra work to raise their grades. She was nice, Dani says, but she didn't let her slide. Dani could tell that Mrs. Liahuski cared about her, and she later learned that her teacher knew that something at home was not quite right. In what Dani describes as a blessing and a saving grace, Mrs. Liahuski ended up being her math teacher all 4 years of high school. She didn't let Dani joke around in class. She taught her to work hard for good grades. lessons that carried over into adult life. The two have maintained a relationship to this day, and Dani honestly doesn't know if she would have graduated without her. So in Dani's own words, teach, I thank you. Thank you for nominating me for this. I love you, and I am so grateful for you. I don't even know these people, and I'm still like, if it wasn't for this city and this high school, I don't know what or who I would have become. Heights saved my life in a lot of ways. So did you. Dani will carry this induction with honor as she continues her journey. Heights family forever.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kendall Roberts. I'm in the 12th grade, and I will be the voice of Autumn Wright, who sadly lost hers. I'm really excited to introduce you all to Neil Smith, who's been going full gas since he left Cleveland Heights High School in 1991. Among his numerous achievements, Mr. Smith was the first African American to earn a degree in jazz studies from the Oberlin Conservatory of Music. His long list of titles since then include accomplished musician, composer, and performer, educator, and 2024 Grammy winner. Along with this group, Imani wins for Best Classical Compendium. If you heard one thing I just said, it was probably Grammy winner. But the role that might be most important to Mr. Smith is educator. He loves to develop young drummers and musicians, and he instills in them his belief that nothing is impossible if they dare to dream. And he created workshops and educational programs for inspiring musicians and is currently an associate professor at the Berklee School of Music. Shaping a new generation of musical talent, he knows how important this is because when he was at Heights, his favorite class was music. And look at him now. I am honored to welcome Neil Smith into the Cleveland Heights Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Good morning. It's good to see everybody here. I'm not going to talk too much. I feel privileged and honored to be here. There is no mystery to success. Just simply take your life serious, take advantage of opportunity, and listen to people. That's what I've been doing, since yay big. I love music and art. I had a lot of support, family, friends, teachers. And Cleveland Heights, the community, there was a lot. Why am I shaking? I never get nervous. There was a lot here in Cleveland Heights, a lot of outlets. And, I took advantage of it. And there's no place like Cleveland Heights. The journey always continues. And I say this to my students, family, and friends. And I live by this. I say, keep pressing and keep them guessing. Thank you for having me. I feel honored for this award. And my teacher, who's sitting right here, Paul Samuels, and his gorgeous wife, Miss Kim Scalern Samuels, who nominated me to be here, and my sister right there, Debbie Knorr, and I think the Stovall's are here. Anyways, thank you all. Continue to work hard and stay focused.
Hi, my name is Dr. Lisa Bradley.
And I nominated Dr. Robert Braylock, High Tide class of '07. And that was the one thing that really caught my eye and my attention, was how I saw the students at the University of Findlay look up to him, you know, as this larger than life mentor.
Throughout my time as an educator, healthcare professional, and unity, equity, and justice practitioner, there have been so many individuals who have contributed to my development.
After working with him and seeing his dedication to youth as well as to higher education, his dedication that he had to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Sometimes these types of honors are given to individuals who are, you know, maybe 10, 20 years older than him, but he's lived such a broad and wonderful life, and certainly has led by example. It's something that he'll be able to utilize to continue to encourage youth to be able to stand up and, you know, stand up for themselves, and also to be able to push forward, you know, with their own dreams, following and seeing what he has done and what he has accomplished.
I've known Randy Hibshman for literally since 4th grade. To say Randy is passionate about sports is an understatement. When his son was born with a severe disability, Randy realized sports played such an important role in his life that it was critically important that Dani had the opportunity to participate in things that Randy had loved all his life. So he co-founded the Challenger League and has been running it for I think about 35 years now. Challenger Baseball is for kids pretty much of all ages with severe disabilities, and they are either wheeled, walked, in any way they can participate. You get teary-eyed because you know these kids have real issues. Their lives are not easy. You get teary-eyed because it's a moment where they can be like every other kid around them. And it's never at any cost to the parents who participate in the program. I think he'll take great pride, and should take great pride, in what he's done over these last 35 years.
Hi, my name's Kayla Nappersack Hund, and I'm class of 91.
And I'm Christy Dom, also Heights High class of 1991.
We'd like to tell you why we nominated Dr. Meyer.
Kayla and I cannot emphasize how much passion and commitment Dr. Meyer exhibits in everything she does.
She was instrumental in securing over $4.4 million for Metro Health School Health Program, and over $500,000 of that was allocated to the Cleveland Heights University Heights Wellness Health Clinic.
She wears so many hats in our community. As a doctor, a medical professor, a director of school health, a mentor, a public health leader, an advocate, and more.
We have some of the best healthcare in the world here in Cleveland, but we know not everyone has access to that care.
Placing the clinics in public schools creates equity in access to healthcare for over 40,000 students in Northeast Ohio and their families.
Dr. Meyer feels very passionately that physicians can make a difference, fighting for access to quality healthcare for all. She's really one of my favorite people.
It's time to get out of your seat. Let's meet the starting lineup for your Eastern Conference champion, Cleveland Cavaliers!
I nominated Ahmad Crump, who is one of the greatest people in Cleveland. He is Cleveland. Everyone knows his voice. If they did not know his name, they definitely know his voice. His peers who I work with to this date, they actually say that he's still the same person, and what he does today is who he was even back then at Heights. He is Heights High. He speaks for what the Heights way is.
Basketball season is just kicking off, and also voting season is in session. And I'm a huge advocate of exercising my right to vote, and I want you to be as well.
I would like everyone to know that he is an awesome man who is very giving, who has a great heart.
Tiger 5K run, let's get it!
So please, everyone, just stand to your feet and give him a warm welcome. And everyone, if you can please say, Cleveland!
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jameer Hampton, and today I have the honor of introducing you to an exceptional individual, Dr. Robert Braylock. His journey is a powerful testament to faith, resilience, and a commitment to uplifting others. Dr. Braylock is deeply committed to eliminating poverty and establishing prosperity, and his life reflects this mission. He is both a healthcare professional with a doctorate in pharmacy and a master of public health, and he's a candidate for a Master of Divinity. He had an undergraduate minors in biology, chemistry, and music. This is a man with broad interest. One of his most memorable moments at Heights was when he was a freshman and his older brother encouraged him to try out for the football team. The coach decided to put Dr. Braylock, who weighed about 130 pounds at the time, on the offensive line. Facing a teammate who was 100 pounds heavier, though he was knocked to the ground and finished for the day, this moment highlighted who he was and who he would be at Heights, showcasing his courage and determination. Dr. Braylock was involved in many activities here, including MSAN, class council, student council, singers, a cappella, gospel choir, basketball, and track. His journey from a determined freshman on the football field to an inspiring educator and community leader is truly remarkable. His dedication to faith, education, and community service makes him a deserving inductee into the Hall of Fame. It is with great pride that I welcome Dr. Braylock to the stage. His legacy will continue to help inspire generations to strive and excel in a positive impact for their communities.
Whew, Lord. So I thought about wearing my Letterman jacket like Trav and Jay Kels, but decided against it. Was also very happy to see the video in the beginning and seeing gospel choir up there, the a cappella choir and singers singing at Severance Hall, and so many other activities that took place during my 4 years at Cleveland Heights, and to see that it's still happening right now is amazing. Much like Jameer said, faith is a foundational part of my life. Christ has blessed me with an amazing family. My mom, Rhonda Braylock, and my father, Gregory Braylock, and my older brother, Gregory Braylock Jr., have played a profound role in my development as a person, as a professional, as a practitioner. And my work and my success is really a testament, for real, to their love and to their support, to their consistency, and to how Christ has just been sovereign over my life in every area. Not many people know this, but my mom and I, so this is approximately 20 years ago. It was summer 2007, actually, before I got concussed by Rakeem Clements on the offensive line. But I was looking at and planning on going to a private school, which most of the adults in here would know if I said it. Christ blessed me to be able to attend a Lutheran school from kindergarten through 8th grade. And so I had an amazing experience there. And so I was planning on continuing my high school journey at a private school in the Cleveland area. And so I went there to register for classes, and knowing how much money my parents would be investing in this school and in my education, they told me what classes I could and could not take. And so as a 14-year-old, I determined that someone telling me what I can and cannot do when I'm paying money probably wasn't the place where I needed to be. And so I ended up coming to Cleveland Heights, where my older brother went and graduated from. That was a divine appointment. I wasn't looking to go to Heights at all. And no shade to Cleveland Heights at all, but I wanted to go to a different school. And so when I got here, my brother, who had graduated in 2002, encouraged me to, we had already been playing football, so I played for the Forest Hill Tigers, now probably the Forest Hill or Cleveland Heights Wolverines. But nonetheless, came here, my brother encouraged me to try out for the football team, and so as Jameer mentioned, first day of practice, I don't know why the coaches put me on the offensive line, and got concussed literally on my first play, but came back. and spent 4 years and invested 4 years of my high school career playing football. So got to play. Jason Kelsey was my starting linebacker my junior year when I played free safety, and then Trav was our starting quarterback my senior year. And so that was an amazing opportunity. Though we were not as good as the Heights football team over these past several years, football was amazing. I met lifelong friends there. One of the things that I've consistently repeated throughout this time is really my faith in Christ. In his book, Worship and Kingship, A Vision for How We Respond to Christ's Reign in Our Lives and Our World, Jeffrey Golden, who's also a Cleveland Heights alum, one of my bros, he says, "I could see him with all authority in heaven and earth, reigning not just over my life, over my church, or even over the church universal. I could see him reigning over every nation, guiding history toward divine purposes and plans. I could see the kingship of Jesus impacting everything visible and invisible. I could see his dominion extending over political and economic realities just as much as it extends over spiritual realities. I could see the plan of God wherein Jesus Christ will literally possess the powers of the nations and bring every people group under the love and liberation of God." My purpose here today really is to exalt Christ. Like, I functionally, philosophically, professionally, I would not be here at all without Christ. And so my encouragement to you all who may or may not know Christ is to really allow him to be Lord and King over your life. Scripture says, if you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Christ is Lord and that God has raised him from the dead, you shall be saved. It's not about your acts. You can't be good enough to spend eternity with a perfect God and a perfect King. And so it's simply by his grace and by our faith in him that allows us to spend eternity with him. And so I thank you all. I want to thank my aunts, uncles, families, friends, sisters. I'm going to shout out Mr. Dixon. Michael Dixon is amazing. I'll share more with the students tomorrow, but Mr. Dixon literally helped me graduate from high school on time. My parents, I'll end with this, it was a month left before graduation. Government is a requirement, or at least at that point was, in the state of Ohio to graduate. I was failing government, and I was failing AP government, and I was failing AP chemistry with Mrs. Bauer Blazer and then Mrs. Bradshaw. And so my mom and dad both came up here and met with Mrs. B Square, who we called her. And she was like, I think Robert can still graduate on time. This is what he needs to do. And so my mom and dad entrusted me into the hands of Mr. Dixon. And so I would be at the Dixon's house, Mrs. Sandra Dixon, who's the gospel choir director now and was then as well, doing homework every day. And if I fell asleep, he would literally pour ice cold water on me, And so I remember it was about a week left before school, and my mom texted me like, Robert, you're going to be graduating. And it hadn't hit me that I was so close to legitimately not graduating on time until my mom sent me that text, excited that I was going to be graduating on time. And so the love and the support from Heights is really unmatched. Young people know that Cleveland Heights is for real a special place. I hold it dearly to my heart, and I'm so honored that you all have selected me to be a part of the Cleveland Heights Hall of Fame. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jordan Settle, and I'm a junior here at Heights High, and I love baseball. I've been playing for most of my life, and when I saw the list of nominees, I was really excited for the opportunity to introduce Mr. Randy Hibshman. Mr. Hibshman also loves baseball, and he always thought he would share that love with his children. When his son was born with special needs, Mr. Hibshman didn't give up on that dream. He just changed the way he would reach it. He discovered the Challenger program, which offers adaptive baseball to children and young adults with special needs. After coaching for 5 years, Challenger asked him to take over the entire program, and since then, it has grown to serve more than 6 times as many children. Mr. Hibshman told me that watching these kids play baseball is amazing. It brings him so much joy to see their faces as they hit, run the bases, score a run. This is what drives Mr. Hibshman. He understands that today it is a difficult time to be a student, but he encourages us to get to know people, establish relationships, and keep an eye on our end goal, whatever that may be. I admire what Mr. Hibshman does because through the Challenger program, he gives all kids the opportunity to play the sport that they love. I am very grateful that I got the opportunity to meet, interview, and introduce our next inductee into the Hall of Fame, Randy Hibshman.
Good morning. I have to admit, when I first heard that I was getting a call from the Hall of Fame in Ohio, I thought, wow, the NFL is finally recognizing me for my one-catch season at Wiley in the 9th grade. But it turns out it wasn't them. I am deeply honored to be inducted into the Heights Hall of Fame. They have accepted me for my work with Challenger Baseball, which, as you now know, is a division of Little League for special needs kids. I started with Challenger in 1989 when I moved to Coral Springs, Florida, which is a suburb of Fort Lauderdale. I saw an article in the local paper saying they were trying to start a Challenger program. My son has special needs, so I thought this would be a great idea for him. I answered the ad and became one of the 4 coaches for about 25 kids. 5 years later, they asked me to take over the program, and I have run the program for the past 30 years with my wife, Debbie. Debbie would be up here now, but she went to some school in Akron. We now have over 200 kids, and we cover all of Broward County. The most descriptive comment made to me about Challenger was made to me by the president of our local Little League, when she said to me that Challenger was the most heartwarming and heartbreaking program she had ever been a part of. Our program is open to kids with any disability, or mental or physical, and with the help of coaches and buddies, we make sure every one of our kids hits, fields, gets around the bases, and always scores, just like their siblings and friends. Actually, I think the kids that are the worst off are the ones that appreciate the program the most. We have one young lady who is in a wheelchair and has very little muscle control, but when her buddy races her around the bases and they touch home plate, the smile on her face is priceless. The program was originally meant for school-age kids 5 to 18, but as our kids grew up and hit that age, a lot of them still wanted to play, so I added a senior division to our program. And now we have players ranging from 5 to 50 years old, including my son Danny, who still plays at 44. You know, even after all these years, the kids still come up to their coaches after each game and ask if they won. And I am such a great commissioner that not one Challenger team has lost a game in 35 years. Thanks to many private sponsors like the Rotary and Kiwanis clubs, the cities that we play in, and the businesses of some of our parents, we are able to provide our kids with pictures, equipment, uniforms, trophies, an opening day party, a season-ending picnic, a trip to the west coast of Florida where they get to play some of the Challenger kids on that end of town. And through a partnership with Miami Marlins, we take everyone to a Marlins game, and the kids get to spend a day with the Marlins minor league players. And we were able to do all this without any charge to the parents. There's one Challenger story I like to tell. It's about 5 years into the program. I need you to kind of picture this. When we play on our Sunday afternoons, each Challenger team has somewhere about 15 to 18 kids. So they're all on the field, along with at least a half a dozen coaches and buddies. So the field is really covered. Yet when someone hits a ball, it seems to always elude all our players. But one time, a kid really hit a ball hard, and you could hear the crack of the bat, and the ball flying to center field. And I could hear the kids, the kids and the parents all going, whoa, and you see them following the ball. But then, one of the kids in center field caught the ball. And there was total silence on the field, because nobody knew what to do. Nobody had ever caught a ball in Challenger before. Well, it took a few seconds, but then everybody started laughing and screaming and yelling. Very funny moment in our program. When this young man called me from Heights, he asked me about my memories from my time there. So I reminded him that I was a class of 68, which is 56 years ago. So I don't remember a heck of a lot. But the one thing I will always thank Heights for is the opportunity to make so many lifelong friends. Many of us still try to get together every year, and some of them are here today. Ron Fairman, who nominated me and has been my best friend since elementary school, Larry and Arlene Turbo, David and Karen Marcus, and Scott Holden, all are here with me today. And I want you to keep in mind that these are all old retired people that had to get up at 6:30 in the morning to make this trip. When I come back for reunions and just visiting Cleveland, so many people that I just run into and easily talk to and reminisce with, it seems like high school was just the other day. Well, till I see all those old faces. Anyway, I greatly appreciate this honor. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Nala Simmons and I am an 11th grader at Heights High. I am very excited to introduce our next inductee, Dr. Vanessa Meyer. Dr. Meyer is not only the primary care physician who treats students and staff in our very own Metro Health Clinic right here at Heights High, but she is also the director of school-based healthcare across all of Northeast Ohio. Not only that, she is also an associate professor in the Department of Family Medicine at Case Western Reserve University, and the Director of Advocacy and Public Health Pathways at Case Medical School, and a professor in Child Studies Department at Case. She is a researcher, a policy advocate, an advisor, a mentor. I can't even list all of her roles because we will be here all day long. But I can tell you that her nomination form for the Hall of Fame was 12 pages long. Dr. Meyer's memories of high school mostly center around her two favorite activities, singing in school choir and playing on the varsity field hockey team, which made it to the state Final Four twice during her 2 years on the team. She loves what she does, and her passion for expanding access to health care for all Clevelanders is proof of the power of Heights High's legacy. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Vanessa Meyer.
Wow. This is such an honor. It really hasn't registered that I am in the Heights Hall of Fame. You got to hear from my besties who are here, Kirsty and Kayla, right there, who graduated with me. And the whole thing started when they called me up and they said, Vernie, which is my nickname. We're nominating you. We're your nominating committee for the Hall of Fame, but we don't really know what you do. And we asked your husband, Christian Meyer, wave, honey, also a Heights grad. We asked Christian, and he didn't know either. So, although it would be nice if my loved ones knew something about my professional career, I really feel so blessed that they are here to support me and champion me and care for me just because I'm me. And that's something that we all learned here at Heights, just to care and support and champion one another. So clearly my nominating committee was a little biased, but I was reassured that the students who nominated me did get a chance to review my credentials. But then I realized that some of the nominating students actually may be confusing me with the health clinic that we have here and our incredible clinical staff who I have the honor to work with, and some of who I think are here. Nisi Ford, everybody please stand up. Here we have our school clinic staff, our clinical staff, Nisi Ford and Kelly Blevins and Sherry Sear. These are the people who really care for our kids here, and I would not be able to do what I do without them. Because of course what I get to do is care for people, whole people, not just a heart or a lung, but a whole person, really complex people within complex families and communities. And I learned to do that here at Heights, where I had so many people, very complex people from so many different backgrounds, so many different perspectives, so many different ideas and opinions, and all these people coming together to care for me. And I think that it is such an honor to be able to come back and to see that this tradition of caring for one another continues, that we have so many people here caring for one another. And when I was here, people were caring for me not because I was an exceptionally great student. I was not an exceptionally great student when I was here. I may have failed my French class one year, but I think that that was because I was having so much fun in my French class. If you know, you know. Timothy House is Jones, is he here? He's on the alumni committee. Anyway, so truth be told, I struggled to learn how to learn. But I learned how to enjoy the struggle, and I learned how actually to thrive in the struggle. And I've come to learn that the secret to thriving in struggle is the support and the care from the people around you. These are the people who don't get annoyed with your struggle. Your struggle is not a burden for them. They don't tell your struggle doesn't exist or you shouldn't be struggling. They strongly, solidly, firmly support you in your struggle. And it is such a profound honor to have had so many from these halls support me in my struggle, and now to be able to come back and provide support for others. So the reality that so many of you have come to our clinic and entrusted us with your health care is such an honor and a privilege for which I am immensely grateful. And it really is a joy to come back into this gorgeous building to see all these friends and teachers and administrators, teammates, coaches, surrounding and supporting each other in the struggle. Because life is full of struggle. And how we learn as a community to support one another, to care for one another as we struggle makes all the difference. So thank you for this distinction. I'm gonna struggle to accept it or to live up to it or even believe that I am a part of this incredibly distinguished group. But I am gonna savor this moment in gratitude and appreciation, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. This means so much to me.
Hello and welcome, or welcome back to our wonderful alum. My name is Sharon Sweeney, and I'm a senior here at Heights and a member of the tennis and the softball teams here at Heights High. Today, I am honored to introduce this particular inductee into the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. If you're a Cleveland sports fan, it's possible you don't know this man's name, but you definitely recognize his voice. I'm talking about the celebrated host of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Ahmad Crump. Mr. Crump's enthusiasm for his work and his commitment to his community are obvious the first time you talk to him. His passion for broadcasting is matched only by his dedication to giving back and motivating others. He regularly supports organizations in the Heights Schools community, lending his voice and his celebrity to local events. Ahmad fondly recalls his time as a Heights High student, particularly the impact of his 3 favorite teachers, Mrs. Turner, Mrs. Watson, and Mr. Krause. While Mr. Crump never imagined receiving an accolade such as this, he has always believed that if you graduate from Cleveland Heights, you've already done a great thing. He ended our interview with a powerful message. There are many capable people in the world, but fewer who are willing to do what it takes to succeed. Please join me in welcoming one who has definitely done what it takes to succeed, Ahmad Crump, a testament to dedication, passion, and achievement.
Oh boy. I want to thank the board, Heights Foundation, Image Makers for this huge honor. Shout out to our entire nominees, class of 2024. Want to thank my mother, my father, who's no longer with us. Okay, everybody do me a favor. In the video, everybody said, Mayana said everybody can yell Cleveland. That will make me feel better. So on the count of 3, everybody can yell Cleveland, and I'll get through this. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Woo! All right. Let's go. All right. We good. I want to thank my mother, everything she's done, my father, who's no longer with us, my brother, class of 87. He was Patrick Mahomes before Patrick Mahomes was Patrick Mahomes, trust me. He was a bad quarterback here at Cleveland Heights. My sister over there, track gospel choir with Mr. Tarter. My niece, Dondrea, class of 2005 here. Lisa was class of 85. My other niece, Kennedy, she went to Orange, but it's cool. I love you anyway. I love you. I want to thank, I got a couple Cavs co-workers here over there in the back, Adam, John, Mick. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. Really appreciate y'all. My time here at Heights, I loved it. 30 years later, I'm going to admit it, but graduation day, June 4th, 1994, you needed 18 and a half credits to graduate back then. I'm not sure what the criteria is now, but you had to have 18 and a half credits to graduate. And Mom, I'm sorry, but I woke up graduation morning, I had 18 credits. Graduation morning, I woke up at 18 credits. I was due a half credit though, Mr. Krause. Mr. Krause he was one of my teachers, and he had to give me I was due a half credit. He just didn't get to it at that morning. So I did the rehearsal not knowing if I was going to graduate. I got tickets out and everything, and but I ended up graduating and went off to college at Central State University, HBCU. Yes. And then I end up, trying to find my way. I started working for law firms, thinking I wanted to be a lawyer. I got in that game for a little bit, working in docket clerks and mail rooms and paralegal work. But I had to find out what actually made me happy, And what always made me happy was basketball. Growing up, I always played basketball. My mother always sent me to the Coventry Youth Center. Back in the day, every day I was at the youth center. It was after school or in the summertime. I left Coventry, went to Roxborough Middle School. Anywhere Roxborough Middle Schools? Yeah, Roxborough Middle School, and then I ended up finishing up here in Cleveland Heights. Joined the Cavalier organization in 2003, and I gotta say it's been a hell of a ride. Been able to announce 5 NBA finals. I've been able to announce 7 NBA All-Star weekends, being able to go to Paris to host the Cleveland Cavaliers game in Paris, to being able to go over to China and work with the Cavaliers over there. But the foundation was laid right here at Cleveland Heights. The foundation definitely was laid here at Cleveland Heights, and I want to thank every teacher that I came across, Mrs. Watson, Mr. Krause, Mrs. Turner, so many. I can't even. I'm gonna stop naming, but I'm gonna make a teacher mad. So many teachers I can actually thank. I'm huge. I'm humbled for this award. To all my students that are here, just simple message before I leave out of here. No matter what you do in this life, follow your gift and not the passion. And what I mean by that is that I'm going to use myself for an example. I got a passion for golf. Oh, yeah. 2020 hit, oh, I'm out on the golf course. I'm dressing like Tiger Woods, and oh, man, I look the part. And every now and then, 250 yards, I hit the ball straight. 9 times out of 10, I'm in somebody's backyard trying to find that ball because that's not my gift. I love to do it. It's a passion. I got a passion for basketball. Every now and then, well, I wouldn't every now and then, all the time, I hit the 3-point shot. Not every now and then, but I love to shoot, but that's not a gift. My gift is talking. The Cavaliers pay me. I get to talk in front of 20,000 fans each and every night. I get to go to schools. I get to do the community centers. I can talk in front of 20,000, in front of 200 crowds. It doesn't matter. That's a gift that I have. I've been that way my whole life, and I just want to tell you that no matter what that gift is, you may not know what it is now. You might find it a couple years from now. You might find it 10 years from now. But God promised everybody here a gift. And once when you find that gift, you work on it. You work on it. It may be cooking. It may be dancing. It may be being a lawyer. It may be a doctor. It may be, be in the music industry. It doesn't matter. Whatever that gift is, you make sure you hone in on that gift, and your gift will make room for you. I promise. Heights high. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
My name is Liz Kirby. I'm the superintendent here for the Cleveland Heights University High School District. First, I want to thank our wonderful image makers for introducing and investigating our inductees. Thank you, inductees, for being here and sharing your stories. They are very inspirational for our students and also for me. I'm going to go very quickly because I know we have limited time. Students, I'm so glad you guys are here. You're getting jewels of wisdom, and I appreciate your attention and how you're taking that in. One thing, I'm here to talk about where we are today, and there are a lot of accolades I can share about the high school. We are still the largest high school on this side of town. We recently were identified for having 69 AP scholars, and now students have the opportunity to graduate with both a high school diploma and an associate's degree. We have about 70 students in that program. Great things always happening at Heights High, but the stories here that our inductees are sharing also really inspire me to lift up that we had 15 students who graduated over the summer, right, who persevered. We have students every day who are struggling to get their grade point averages up and are working with their teachers and their peers to do that. And so your stories of perseverance, and even though you didn't start the right way, it doesn't mean you can't end the right way, are really inspirational for us. Thank you to Laura Lobo and Betsy Freelander for putting this together. Our board president for the High Schools Foundation, Dr. Carver. Thank you, Ms. Searcy, for coordinating, Mr. Walker for working with the image makers. Thank you, teachers, for giving up the time to have your students have this experience. I know that that time is precious, and we really do appreciate that. I'm also just struck by the stories of the power of a teacher. That is my big takeaway. Boy, the power of a teacher to shape the life of students. This is a great event. I'm so happy you all are here. Once again, congratulations. Thank you.
We nominated our classmate and friend, Steve Potash. He's like the nicest guy.
Oh,
I don't even know
that
if
is
he's
very
that. He's
true.
the nicest guy.
Yeah. Steve has a unique ability of blending technology and the library industry while always staying ahead of the curve. In 1986, he founded Overdrive, which is now the leading digital platform for ebooks, audiobooks, and other digital media. If the company Overdrive is not familiar to you, perhaps you use the Libby app, which Steve's company designed.
He's forward-thinking, and it's always for the good of the people, the community, and the world. Steve is truly an amazing person, and we are so lucky to have him as a friend and in our midst.
Recently, Steve and Lori served the Cleveland community by working with university hospitals to open the Potash Women and Newborn Center with a planned multi-million-dollar gift.
On behalf of the class of 1970, we congratulate our friend Steve Potash and welcome you into the Heights High Alumni Hall of Fame.
I nominated Rabbi Sharon Henry, who I've known since junior high school at Roosevelt Junior High. Sharon was the first female rabbi in Kansas City, and that's a really hard path for a woman. Sharon's very dedicated to community, and not only her community in Pittsburgh, but the community of the world.
Today and every day, you and I choose to stand up and fight against hatred, and we choose to do it together, yad b'yad, hand in hand, yedidut, in friendship.
She has all the attributes of a really good rabbi. She's very empathetic and ethical and compassionate. As a rabbi, she really is focused on social action, inclusion, and worship. She has worked with LGBT teens. She's gone on missions to Haiti. I really feel like this is a Lifetime Achievement Award for her that she really deserves.
I nominated Dr. Benjamin Piper for the Cleveland Heights Hall of Fame. The seed of who he would ultimately become was there and present when he was a 17-year-old kid. He's a believer. It's more than just spiritually, more than just in terms of his faith, but it's a believer in the power of what a leader can do, what an educated person can do, what a motivated person can do, what a teacher can do. And this is really where, like, kind of, I guess, his genius began to really be known to others. Working with, on the government level, supporting education in sub-Saharan Africa through teacher development and using programs that incorporate native languages.
This is a fundamentally important moment for the foundational literacy and numeracy movement.
Someone put in his hat, or he put in his hat, to be the global education, international education leader for the, at the time, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and got it. You oversee tens of millions of dollars of funding, and you're visiting various countries, various world leaders, looking for investment in the program for international education in Africa, Asia, Middle Eastern countries. This is an inspiring story. This is at public school. You don't have to be a private school kid to have a great impact, so it's just love to do. And I hope that he feels the love as well, and I hope that his family gets to love on him, and continue to show appreciation for what a great man can do.
Hey everyone, my name is Sean Glenn, and I'm a junior here at Heights and a member of the boys volleyball team. It is my honor today to introduce our next inductee, Steve Potash. If you ever read or listened to a book on your phone instead of your laptop, oh my bad, I'm a little nervous. If you ever read or listened to a book on your phone or laptop instead of checking it out from the library, you probably have Steve to thank. A cherished memory Steve holds from his days at Cleveland Heights High School is an intense but freezing football game. Steve was out on the field not as a player, but a member of the marching band. Steve was focused on his role, and he went to go take a breath, and he found his lips were frozen stuck to his tuba. Don't worry though, Steve survived that harrowing experience, and he's here with us today, lips intact. Steve shared with me as a teenager he never would have imagined being in a spotlight like this. His achievements making books and audiobooks more accessible to people all over the world are thanks in part to him taking advantage of all the opportunities that was offered to him as a student. To high school students here today, Steve's message is this: never pass up on an open opportunity. Each moment holds the potential to shape your futures in ways you might not foresee. Embrace your education, pursue your passions, and be open to the possibilities that come your way. Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Superintendent Kirby, Dr. Towns, Betsy, the foundation, and all of you attending here today. The comments I heard from the other honorees, I think cover so much great advice, but I just want to add one or two small matters, and I really want to speak to the image makers. I just want to thank each and every one of you, and when I look back at, I'm standing here today, and the conversations I had with Sean, reliving how I participated on the National Forensic League, the impact of Calvin Hines, who was a speech coach here, who encouraged me to join the debate team and follow something that he said I might be accomplished at. I didn't realize that things that I accomplished in high school had such a direct and lasting impact on my career and on the world around us. Today, as was mentioned, there's almost no place on earth, and actually even in space, that isn't using a product that was developed by graduates of Heights High. Not only myself, but many other classmates that have joined me in this pursuit. Those that have become educators, those that have become librarians, those that are dedicated to improving the community. The story of Overdrive success, and the reason I'm here today, is because I had the great fortune of being coached and guided at every step of my education, whether it started in Boulevard Elementary School and continued here through Heights High. I know that one day, this experience of being an image maker will be on your resumes. You'll be talking it at college interviews. It'll be part of something you should be discussing with pride, the skills, the leadership you exhibited, but more importantly, the value. So I want to thank all of the educators, all of those responsible for this program of image makers, because you're giving this team and this community an ongoing supply of future Hall of Famers. Thank you. One last remark. I forgot to thank, this journey for the nomination didn't just start with two of my classmates that you saw on the team. The two ladies, Ellen Teitelman-Wall, Sylvia Maltzmacher-Kramer, who are sitting here in the second row, this is a journey that started in elementary school. And the relationships and the friends that you have built through your elementary, your middle, and your high school here, relationships are all that are really going to be the most valuable asset you have. You'll have accomplishments and transactions that are notable, but the friendships that last you, from friends that you made in elementary school that one day may be sitting here nominating and applauding you. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Sylvia. It really means so much to me and my family. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chelsea Gibson. I'm a junior here at Heights High, where I'm a captain of the wrestling team, a member of AVID, NHS, and Minority Student Achievement Network. I am honored to introduce Rabbi Sharon Henry, a rabbi with the Rodef Shalom congregation in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. When Rabbi Henry was in high school, her 10th grade English teacher, Mrs. Warren, told her, "A good book changes you in some kind of small way." This is an idea she has used throughout her life, especially as a rabbi, because she believes all the people who know us change who we are in some kind of Smallwood. When Rabbi Henry started her career, she was the first full-time rabbi in Kansas City, with no female mentors or role models and no one to guide her on this path. Instead, she had the burden of proving a woman could be good enough for this field of work. This instilled in her a passion for the pursuit of justice, and she now gives her time and effort back to the community by advocating for equality and inclusion. Rabbi Henry has received a humanitarian award from Community Living and Support Services, as well as many other accolades for her immense efforts in this arena. She says this induction into the Hall of Fame is very special and that she is proud to represent Heights High, upholding its name wherever she goes. I am honored to welcome Rabbi Sharon Henry to the stage and to let her know Heights High is proud to have her among our many representatives.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. Before I forget, I want to say a special thank you to Betsy, because I'm really bad at answering emails, and she was incredibly patient with me. So thank you so much. And just don't ever do this. I have 31,000 emails. Don't do that. I'm really grateful to be here today. As Chelsea mentioned, I'm very proud to have come to have been a graduate of Cleveland Heights High School when I was in 9th grade. So in those days, we went to Heights only for 3 years. I was in 9th grade. My parents wanted to move from our home in Cleveland Heights. And I was crazy upset. I demanded that they stay in the Cleveland Heights University Heights School District. I actually don't know if it was because of me that we stayed, but I just had to be here. I had to go to Heights. I don't know if I really understood all the reasons, but one of them for sure was that I understood that Heights was the real world and that I really wanted to be part of a community that is just exactly the way it was then and how it is now. Just big and open and down to earth and so inclusive that I just knew that this was a part of my education I need to be at Cleveland Heights High. So thank you, Mom. I'm also grateful to my brother who is here taking off of work today. He's a 1979 grad of Heights High. And my friend Marilyn, who, as Steve Potash just told us, the importance of friends, lifelong friends. Marilyn and I have been friends since 7th grade. And not only did she do some really interesting conspiracy work to get all that information that was on the video. I have no idea where all that stuff came from. She was the first person I talked to about being a rabbi, and I turned to her. I was a couple of years out of college. I turned to her and I said, "Marilyn, do you think I'd be a good rabbi?" And she said, "Yes." And ever since that first moment, she's been supportive, interested, engaged. She's on my side whenever she needs to be, and that is the value of a lifelong friend, and I'm really hoping that you're planting the seeds now for friendships that will last your whole life. I appreciate that I'm one nominee away from dismissal this morning, so I want to make sure that I don't talk very long. I will say there was a person who mentioned in the film that she still dreams about Heights. I do too, but my dreams are that I'm lost. I can't find the unit office. Are there still unit offices? No. Okay. Well, we'll never find it then. I can't find the unit office, and I can't remember which side of the building is even numbers and odd numbers. Is that still the case? No, so all right, okay. Well, then my dreams have been answered. I just want to say one piece. I do appreciate all of the things that have been said this morning, all the things about perseverance, all the things about struggle, all the things about just striving to be the best people that we could be. I just want to say one thing, and really short. When I get overwhelmed about all the work there is to do in the world, and there's so much work to do in the world, I just think, well, I'm going to do my piece. And I'm going to trust that everyone else is going to do their piece as well. So what I'd like to say to you this morning is just find that piece that you can do to contribute to the world, to make the world better, safer, more compassionate, more understanding, more inclusive, more peaceful, more just. Find your piece and just do that to the best of your ability. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jalen Putnam. I'm a junior here at Heights High. I'm a libero on the varsity volleyball team and a member of NHS, AVID, and MSAN. I am honored to be introducing Dr. Benjamin Piper, Director of the Global Education Program at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Dr. Piper has literally traveled a long way to get here to be with us today, as he currently resides in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. He has also traveled a long way figuratively, as he had quite the educational journey since graduating from Heights High. First, he earned an undergraduate degree from Wake Forest, then a master's from Furman, then another master's from Harvard, and finally a doctorate in international education from Harvard. His inspiration for all of that schooling was his mother, who obtained her PhD in education and taught in poor communities. While working on his doctorate, Dr. Piper lived in Africa, and after seeing how the people interacted, the culture of life, the relatable environment for his kids, and that people mean more than money, he made Africa his home. His work in education has been enormously impactful, as he's been able to double the number of kids who could read in 1 year in Kenya, while he was the chief of party for the Kenyan National Literacy Program, Tusome. Dr. Piper fondly remembers the strong friendships that got him through the trials and tribulations of high school, and advises us to find friends who motivate us and positively push us towards better outcomes. I am honored to be introducing such a profoundly successful individual, and I ask that you all join me in welcoming Dr. Benjamin Piper.
That was a great speech. Thanks, Taylor. It really is remarkable to be here with you today. I remember taking lunch in the social room. The social room is the better side than the cafeteria. And next week, I'm having a dinner at Bill Gates' house with 6 billionaires. So one meal in the social room, the next meal with billionaires. And I have the privilege to be able to talk to them about the importance of spending their money for the kids who matter the most. So I have 3 things to say. They're going to be very fast. My story is going from the social room to Bill Gates' house. And I think the 3 things I can say that made that possible are, number 1, my mother, Susan Piper. The work of a single mother raising someone in the Heights, pretty substantial. So wave to everyone, Mom. Love you. The second is my faith in Christ. I agree with Dr. Blaylock about the importance of real relationship with God. And that happened as I was in high school here at Heights. My faith became an important thing. And the third are these gentlemen here. Well, I'm actually going to not only make them stand up, I'm making you walk to the stage. So come. So as they stand, yes, they were not aware. You're coming on the stage. So this is 5 members of crew. Everyone say, hi, crew. So crew were 11 men, all class of 95. And I think the fundamental reason, you're going to stand here on the stage. Don't come. Brian said all these nice things about me, so this is my payback. You're going to stand right there. I think the reason I'm having them stand up is that I don't know what it's like being at Heights in 2024, but in the class of 95, there are many things that are trying to slow us down and keep us from graduating, keep us from doing our best, keep us from finishing school, keep us from performing. And I think I had the advantage of there was 11 of us. And they've come from all over America. Actually, he just landed from where? He was in Arizona this morning. Tennessee this morning, And they're here not to celebrate me, but to celebrate the power of what real friendship connection can mean. And so this group of friends, and I want to speak to the young people here, who are your crew that are going to be the ones to not only help you through high school, make sure you do well, hold you to a high standard, help you through college, help you through getting married, help you through being a father. And I live on a different time zone than them. We are older than we were when we were in high school. I wake up to literally 200 messages from these people every single day. So there's power of friendship that will last for your time in high school, but also for your life. I have to call them out one more last thing. These people are not only good friends, they're also very quality professionals who've made a big impact. Dan is a counselor at Kent State University. Isaac, actually know what Isaac does. He just has the most money of all of us. He just is a businessman. It never makes sense. He just has money. I don't know. Not drugs, but meaningful. Johnny is, he works in underwriting, works with mortgages, makes sure people have houses. Brennan leads a very successful church here in Northeast Ohio. You should go. Shepherd's Pastor for All Nations. And then Brian is a leader of the most expensive and best preschool you can find in Nashville, Tennessee. So the point is, who are your people? Who are your crew? They're going to help you not only get past high school, to live life together. They've come a long way, not to celebrate me, but because of what friendship and real manhood is about. So thanks to Heights, thanks to the committee, thanks to Jalen, who did a great job introducing, and it's a real privilege to be with all of you. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Susan Carver, proud alumni of the class of '78 and the president of the Heights Schools Foundation. I am giving the closing remarks, which entails something very special. In addition to awarding the Hillary Anchor Award, I am very proud to be here today on behalf of the foundation and, of course, the entire Cleveland Heights and University Heights School District. Congratulations to all of the Hall of Fame inductees. As I said, I have the privilege of announcing the 2024 recipient of the Hillary Anchor Award. Now, this award is given to a member of the 2024 cohort of Hall of Fame inductees, and it's given to an individual who exemplifies the true spirit of Heights High through their lifelong work and passion and gift to the community. Hillary Anchor was a Heights High student and an image maker from 1996. And she passed away an untimely death from a rare lung disease 2 years later in 1988. She was quite talented. She became a member, the first principal clarinetist with the Heights Symphonic Winds. And as well, because she cared very deeply about others, she was involved with several volunteer activities that served members of the community to make their lives better. A former teacher described Hillary as one of Heights High's shining stars. This year, the Heights Schools Foundation is very proud to have selected for the 2024 Hillary Anchor Award to Stephen Potash. Stephen, if you'd like to come up here. As his nominees, the individuals who nominated Stephen, it was Ellen and Sylvia, and then Sean, described that the platform that Stephen created called Overdrive hosts the world's largest catalog of digital books and other media that's available to this global network of over 73,000 libraries, schools, universities, government, and corporate centers in 88 countries. Overdrive's reading apps, Libby for libraries, which I use, and I had no idea that the founder was a Heights grad. Very proud to know that. And Sora for Schools have received numerous awards because of educating readers of all ages with digital books and materials in over 100 languages. Mr. Potash's entrepreneurial spirit continues to engage and make a difference in the lives of this current age and future learners throughout the world. Stephen and his wife Lori are passionate advocates, obviously, for literacy and access to books and information. So much so, again, as you've learned in the video, they established the Lori and Stephen Family Foundation. Among the many accomplishments, one of the key things they did were the underwriters for the UnitedAgainstBookBans.org, and as well BelieveInReading.org. Their foundation also donated the lead gift to support the Lori and Stephen Potash Women and Newborn Center, which was mentioned before, for the University Hospital's Ahuja Medical Center here in town. In addition to this named center, one of the things that the transformational gift created and launched was this very unique, innovative literacy program. This ensures that all newborns and their families leave the hospital and go home with their first collection of baby-friendly board books, information about healthy parenting, and as well materials about how to access our library system, which is a great one. Making a difference in the lives of a next generation of learners and enthusiastic readers is truly the mission of Lori and Stephen. Stephen is one of 5 children raised by 2 immigrant Holocaust survivors. He has made an indelible mark on the world. We are very, very proud to have him as a Hall of Fame inductee here in 2024 and to be a member of our Tiger Nation. Congratulations, Steve, on receiving this additional honor.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to say some words?
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
As well, I would like to say congratulations once again to all of the members of the class of 2024 Hall of Fame inductees, and thank all of you, students particularly, for taking the time out of your day here with classes to be here, and thank you teachers for allowing that to happen. I know that you need to be heading back to class, and for the rest of us, there will be a reception in the library for our inductees, guests, and families. And please follow, where's our Betsy? Our Betsy Friedlander, who is located over there, to the reception. So on behalf of the Heights Schools Foundation, thank you again for being here today.
The day I found you, I want to stay around you, and so I beg you, let it be me. Don't take this heaven from one, if you must cling to someone now.